It's not a gift. In this corner, we have what? Words. This really gets heavy sometimes. We can say a lot of things and do a lot of talking, right? A lot of words. All right, we'll put that over here. This corner, we have deeds. This one usually isn't quite as filthy as that one. Ideally, they should kind of be like this, don't you think? Yes or no? Yes. Or even like that, that's good too. But a lot of times, they're kind of like this. Words and deeds. Not quite together. At the simplest level, that's what this parable is about that Jesus gives us today. Do our words match up with our deeds or not? The first son says to his dad, "Nope, I won't do it." But then he changes his mind. Then he follows through and he acts on what his father had asked him to do. He does the deed. The other son, "Yup, I'll do it." What happens to him? He goes off wherever, right? He doesn't follow through. Jesus addressed this parable to us today, but at the time he addressed it, if you notice the beginning, it was to the leaders, the chief priests and the elders, the top dogs. And what Jesus is trying to do is he's trying to jar them into conversion so that their deeds would match up more closely with their words. These were the guys who said all these great things about how wonderful and great they were and all the things they were going to do in leading the people. But they didn't carry it out with their deeds. So Jesus is just trying to urge them, saying there's still time. There's still time to change your mind, to be converted. Look at the prostitutes. Look at all these other sinners, the tax collectors. They're changing the way they behave. They're following more the way of the Lord. There's still time for you to match those two things up. Not just to say wonderful things, but that when you teach and when you say things, that you follow it up with your actions. Well, that's them. What about us? How well do our words match our deeds? Now, we all know it's easy to point the finger at somebody else. Yeah, last night, there I was at 6 o'clock, ready to set up for the meeting. There were supposed to be two of us here. He's promised me he'd be here. You think he showed up? Heck no. Didn't even call, didn't text me. Just like him. You can't depend on him. You know anybody like that? No, of course not, right? Certainly not us in the room, right? So easy to point the finger. How many times have you and I said we do something and didn't follow through? I don't need anybody to raise their hand, because I think every hand in the place would go up. Am I right on that one? I know mine would too. Oh yeah, I'll take care of it. 10 hours later, I forgot. Oh my God, I said I completely forgot. Or, this is always a good one. I wasn't listening. He never listens. Right? We've already said yes to following the Lord. Here we are this morning. We followed it up with an action, right? We could still be in bed sleeping, moaning those tigers. So, but here we are to celebrate together. But that's only a small part, isn't it, of being a disciple? This is the easy part. Sometimes discipleship is pretty difficult. And we'll say that we're going to do something, and then we have to look and see if our actions line up, if our deeds line up with our words. We can say to someone that we really value prayer in our life. But do we daily take the time for a place quietly to do it? Or we can express a concern for the poor. But does it show in our lifestyle choices? Do we actually do something concrete to help them? Or we can sign up for something in the parish or the wider community. Sure, I'll work on that. How well do we honor our commitment? Following Jesus is not just words, we know that. It's actions, and they need to show so that people can see in our daily lives that we truly are followers of the Lord. Or two old phrases that help me out. One we know very well. You can't just talk the talk, you've got to walk the walk. Or even another one that I like better. If you were arrested for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you? Oh, some of you haven't heard that before? Ooh, that's been around for a long time. I'll say it again. If you were arrested for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you? I hope the answer is a resounding yes. Because that would show then that our deeds truly do match up with our words.